I'm like so excited, but also so very nervous because I have been wanting to do this YouTube channel for a while, and I have been overthinking the equipment and trying to buy all these things. And it's really just time for me to get out of the fear of worrying about what people think, trying to be perfect because that perfection is hindering my progress. So here I am with what I have, and I really hope that my sincerity comes through. First thing, it's so hard to not look at yourself. I'm looking at my camera because I want to connect with you, but this is my first long form video. I've talked on Instagram. I've done like 12 days of healing a few years ago, but this is the first time where I'm actually wanting to learn more and express my creativity and really taking the craft seriously. So just give me grace. So hello to everybody. I am Tanisha. Um, I recently started a podcast. I say recently, but it's been a few years ago, called Space and Grace. And I enjoyed it a lot, but I really wanted to connect with people visually. I wanted everyone to see my space. And so I started to think about ways to bring a podcast element to YouTube. So if you continue to like scroll down, you'll see that I have transferred all of my audio podcasts to YouTube so you can go back and listen. And throughout this journey with y'all, I will share all kinds of things around it changed, it switched, it moved around. But this is really a get to know me video. So if you have listened to the podcast, you know that I always have notes. I'm going to always have notes. I've learned for me that writing things down helps me to remember. So I'm going to always have notes of some kind. I got notes. Your girl has notes. So I wanted to really share more about me, but in a way that is authentic and in a way that is genuine. So the first thing is my occupation. We always kind of start there, right? Like, what do we do? Who are we? But I am a public health practitioner. I have been in the role of public health for almost 15 years now. And I've worked in hospital systems, I've worked in the community, in health equity and clinical research. So I really think through what I share because that's how I've always focused and how I've always worked in my job. There is an understanding of the community that I serve. And because of that, I'm very thoughtful and intentional about the words that I choose, or at least I try to be. So my background is in public health and biological sciences. Who I am at my core is the middle child. So all of the things that you're thinking about the middle child, I accept them, good or bad, or perceived good or bad. So that is my occupation. But my vocation, the things that I do outside of the day to day, the things that bring me purpose is being around my family and my friends, really being able to contribute to the world in a way that's really outside of what culture thinks. I have asked my friends several times words that describe me, and they say things like thoughtful. I still try to send handwritten notes, although the last year and a half I have slacked. I've slacked on that quite a lot. So that's that. I have fallen in love again. I've reimagined this love with football. The past 2 seasons has really been exciting for me. I've been on fantasy football leagues this year. Third place is how I ranked. Okay, so I'm always excited when I can knock the guys out. That makes me feel really good. Deep down inside, I am super competitive. So I love, love, love that. And one of the things that I'm most proud about is I just completed in November of last year a program certification for emotional well-being. And that has been really exciting. I'm learning so much about it. So I am program certified as an emotional and well-being coach. So if that is something that you're interested in learning more about, let me know. I am on my way to obtaining my national board certification. And so that requires some coaching sessions, some studying for the exam. So I am really excited about moving that forward. And you'll hear more about that in this journey as well. So occupation, vocation, observation. I have realized within the last year or two, honestly, maybe since the pandemic, I think we've all been in this really topsy-turvy place since 2020, that I have been way more influenced than intentional. I have been focusing on what other people are saying, what other people are doing, rather than sitting with myself, praying, meditating, reading. And I didn't like how I began to start to think about things. I didn't like how difficult it was for me to express my emotions and my thoughts and my feelings. I didn't like how I couldn't seem to even read 3 or 4, not even 10 pages of a dense book or maybe even an article without getting distracted. And for me, that was a problem. One, because of the work that I do, and I need to be able to digest information at a faster pace, to be able to understand the content and the context of that information. But also, I pride myself on being able to articulate my thoughts and my intentions. And I was having a difficult time doing that. So I observed that I was not being authentic because I was being influenced. I wasn't being intentional about thoughts and feelings. And so I wanted to set out to change that. I wanted to change how that impacted my life. So from occupation to vocation to observation, now realizing that that led me to conviction. And I realized that not only was I not being intentional and I was being influenced, not even intellectually, not even culturally, politically, even sometimes, but also spiritually. And I wanted to get back into a place where I was grounded in my faith and rooted in that based on my relationship and not with others. And so I started to kind of think about those ways in which I could become more intentional in every aspect of my life, spiritually, financially, emotionally, relationally, with family, with friends, occupationally, with work. Um, and I really have been on this journey to figure out what this is. And a lot of this is what, a lot of that is what has led me to this place, right? So my occupation, my vocation, my observation, my conviction, and now my intention. I want to live well by design. I want to have the space and the grace to navigate this world healthily. Is that a word? I'm going to make it a word today. I want to be able to move in a way that is not influenced by culture, but is grounded by my morals, that is grounded by my values, that is grounded by I want to treat others as I want to be treated. So that means that I have to be intentional around a lot of things. And this new YouTube space is like an accountability partner. This is my way of sharing all the things that I'm learning around how to be intentional in all aspects of life, but to also hold myself accountable, because one of my intentions is to be more creative and give positivity to the world. And this is one way that I'm trying to do that. So I don't know. I hope that this gives you a glimpse into this new audio visual podcast that I'm trying. Please give me the space and grace, because it is so hard to look at this camera. When I'm just on the mic, I'm just on the mic. And so I could think, I could jot down things. You wouldn't see me doing any of that, but you may see me doing that in this. And so to not look at myself, but to look at you because I want to connect with you, it's going to take some time. But I'm excited to introduce this channel. I'm excited to introduce the podcast to you in this way. This is Space and Grace. I am Tanisha.